Hi, everyone. It's very nice to have all of you here again. My name is Andrew. I am from ICAEW Malaysia. ICAEW stands for the Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. I was here last night in these late night talks, late evening talks with Sunway TES. So I'm glad to have all of you here again. All of you 30 people. Hi, Mr. Jana. Hi, Jack. Chantel. And the others who are watching alongside. If you are in the chat, do fill up your comments, tag your friends, and make sure that they are listening to this session as well. It is live. I'll be able to answer your questions, and also the students who are coming in, or rather alumni who are coming into this session, will be able to answer your queries and also answer your concerns if you have any. Right. So tonight we'll be having Teo Yong Jiew. He is right now in the Royal Bank of Canada. And so RBC, and then we have Waylun coming in later on at 9:30, and later Kumar, he will be coming on at 9:45. So these are current students and also alumni from Sunway TES, and they are ICAEW. They will be future chartered accountants, and you can ask them about their journey, and you can ask them about their experiences studying ICAEW. These people are highly talented and also highly, smart, I would say, right? So what about ICAEW, right? If you have not caught the session or you do not know what ICAEW is, go watch Sunway TES video yesterday. So I was live. We were live yesterday at 9 p.m. as well. I believe the video is up on the stream. So just go and watch that. Check it out. What's ICAEW? How you can do up your ICAEW CFAP. Start with CFAP, and after that move on to the ACCA qualification at Sunway TES. All right. That's all I have. We are going to get Wishing in soon. Hi Wilson. I believe we were chatting yesterday. So nice to have you on here tonight. And then just ask the questions to the members as well. Hi Michael. Nice to have you in. Maybe you can help comment as well in some of the questions as well. It's nice to have fellow alumni with us watching the stream as well. Right. Without further ado, I will get Wishing to come on screen to have a quick chat. If you have any questions for Wishing, do drop in the chat. He'll try to answer if it's relevant. All right. Now can we have Wishing on?
Hi everyone. Hi Andrew.
Hi. Nice to have you. Nice to have you. Sharing your experience with people. First off, tell us about yourself. You are a national player for dodgeball, and also an ICAEW member right now. You just qualified. I believe that you got your membership last year or this year. Yeah.
I think last year in March, about over a year now.
Yeah.
You've introduced me. My name is Sheng. I was in Deloitte for 4 years plus, and now I'm currently in RBC. Moved here over 6 months ago. Completed my ACA in 2018, end of the year, and completed my training file and got my certification in March 2019. And ever since then, things have moved pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, just tell the audience about your dodgeball. I mean, like, you are a national player, I think, for the past 4 or 5 campaigns, if I'm not mistaken, and then at the same time as well, training as an ICAEW chartered accountant. How was that like?
That was quite crazy actually. Because I mean, I was studying full time, and as everyone knows, this course isn't that easy. Even if you memorize the book by heart, like, not necessarily you're gonna pass. But if you practice enough and study well enough, like, you could still do a lot of things outside. So that in that way, I managed to get a good balance and cope between studying and training at the same time.
Yeah. So how helpful was Deloitte for them to actually allow you to I don't know, go for trainings? Because if you are training in a one of the big four, time will going to be very, very packed. At the same time, you have your trainings and you got exams as well. How would they helpful in that sense?
Okay. So Deloitte was very, very cooperative. So whenever I have tournaments, international tournaments, they will let me go. Well, of course, in order for that, you need to plan your time well, so that plan ahead. So like you make sure that your jobs are completed before you go off, so that nothing's left hanging. And when you're overseas, you definitely don't want to look at your phone and look at work stuff.
Yeah.
So and regarding studying, so the Big Four in particular, they have this agreement that when you're in your advanced level, you kind of get like a month off before exam, and that's when you can study full force. And well, of course, you're expected to pass.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that's a very, very how to say, positive way of actually getting into the idea of actually there are times that we need to be able to manage our schedule with our managers in order to actually cope with so many other things, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's not just your own team. You need to make sure everybody knows that you're not around.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I mean, let's throw back before time. Like you started as I think you finished SPM, and then after that you went straight into to do ICAEW CFAP, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like a lot of people, they take breaks after SPM, like a few months off. Maybe wait to explore, see what they're really interested in. But for me, I had a different experience where after SPM, I straight dived into CFAP ICAEW.
Yeah. Okay.
And then everything just skyrocketed. Like finished CFAP in 1.5 years, and an internship as well, and completed the 6 professional papers in a year, and then joined back Deloitte straight away. So that was like really, really fast. I had no such thing as summer breaks, no off seasons for studying and all those. Yeah, just straight.
Yeah, correct. So what was the experience like? I mean, like, when did you had something else in mind before actually deciding to do up ICAEW CFAP, or were you actually wanted to do a foundation first, or what was that like?
Not really. To be frank, I wasn't a fan of degrees because degrees are kind of too common.
Okay.
And well, I'm not one to always be a full-fledged studying person. I'm not one by the books. So I like I don't like to memorize things and just throw it out.
Okay.
So I didn't go for the A levels program or like foundation because that's what you're required to do.
Yeah.
Study and then just throw everything out on the exams. But ICAEW is a bit different.
Okay.
You kind of apply a lot of things that you learn, and your jobs are very closely related to the syllabus. Like it actually relates. So everything you do kind of helps.
Yeah. So
that's
that's nice to hear. Also, I know your brother is also an ICAEW member right now. Did he have any influence? Yeah, did he have any influence actually for you to actually also do up ICAEW?
In a way, yes. He wanted to do actuarial science at first, and then he came to Sunway's open day and had a talk with Sunway TES people, and they introduced. He was actually in batch 5. He was the 5th batch. I think that was like second year CFAP was introduced.
Okay.
So then, well, back. I mean, we all know the prestige level of ICAEW. It's not at that point they just introduced it, so it was like a risk, I'll say, because there weren't many graduates at that time. But once you're done, your life kind of changes. Okay.
And you say the life kind of changes. So right now you are a member. So what are the changes and how is it different right now?
Well, the most notable one is once you're qualified as an ACA, job offer starts coming in.
Okay.
Like really a lot. Like maybe every week you just get a call every few days. You get emails coming in.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So once you update your LinkedIn profile, and then that's it. It's like you get the inquiries in.
Yeah, everything just skyrockets up. Like, yeah, you start getting emails and calls and like asking you for your resumes and stuff.
Okay,
It's not just Malaysia. You get I've got some offers from the UK, from Singapore as well.
Okay, that's very, very interesting. So those who are listening, job offers will just come into you. You don't have to even apply for actually jobs. People just start calling you for positions as well. I mean, it's very nice to actually hear that. It's very assuring to those, especially job market right now is not that great. If you're an ACA down the road, I think job offers will come to you instead of you applying. I mean, that was fantastic, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm wishing some questions also. What do you think about? Do you have any prior expectation about ICAEW? And then right now you have completed. You said your life changes and everything. But so, do you have a first impression of ICAEW itself?
Not really, but because I actually kind of made up my mind what the path that I wanted to take since Form 4.
Okay. Wow.
Which is why I took the sub-science. I didn't go to pure science.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, because I'm bad at science.
It's okay. It's fine. So, you knew it in Form 4, and then Form 5, you know, like, okay, done SPM, I'm just going straight for the ICAEW CFAP. I mean, like, that is, how do you get the exposure at Form 4 itself that you know about ICAEW, or because your brother was already doing it?
Yes. So Form 4, back then in Form 4, my brother was just first year in college. That's when he was introduced to CFAP ICAEW, and they also had this CFAP exchange program. I'm not sure if they still have it now. Okay,
I understand. All right. That's quite interesting. Okay. So just a few questions. What's the question is that? I've seen your dodgeball highlights, and how it's something about dodgeball right now. I'm going to do something personal. Something about you move quite quickly on the field, on the court itself. I know you do a lot of speed agility training and everything. Does that kind of speed and agility is being applied to what you are right now as an ICAEW chartered accountant, being agile? Because you move from Deloitte into RBC, both things are very different. I don't know what you did in Deloitte, what you're doing right now in RBC. Can you just share with other people?
Well, let's talk about speed. From start of CFAP until now, because I got to juggle between studying and training. You kind of need to be able to switch your brain to this and that. Like, once you're off studying, like, you cannot think about studying anymore. You can't think about the exams.
Yeah.
You got to put your head in the game. And then once you're back in studying, you can't think about sports or the gym anymore. Like, you got to focus on what you're doing to make it really effective. So that's kind of how I run. Well, in Deloitte, I was in audit. Typically get experience. You really learn a lot. Get exposed to different industries. And why audit and not commercial for the start? Because you really get more exposure in the Big Four. If you hear people saying that, it's actually true. Whereas if you go into commercial, you probably just see like one angle. You can learn, but the audit definitely bigger exposure, I'll say.
Yeah, I understand. So what do you do at RBC right now? Yeah.
RBC, I mean, capital markets, doing product control. When I first joined, I have no idea what's that. Well, basically, we are reconciling P&Ls on the capital market side, money markets, where you do bonds, derivatives, all these interest rates and stuff like that. In ICAEW, I think closest related would be financial management.
Yeah, financial management. Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, yeah. So I mean, that is the flexibility, right? I mean, as an ACA, you just get into it, get into a different kind of job. You wouldn't know what you're going to do, and you just have to apply those kind of things, right? If that's how you approach, because you mentioned about approaching, how to say, categorizing your focus, or actually limiting your focus to what in the present, what you're doing at that time itself. I think that is very, very, I think it's a very important skill as well, to actually put full focus instead of thinking about different things.
Yes, definitely. You can't be thinking 50-50, then you're just going to have 50% of the effort and 50% of the results even.
Yeah. I know, right? So I let's take some questions from the comments. I think I see a lot of your fans here. A lot of you, actually your dodgeball teammates. Any questions? Yeah. I think we basically said that. But how do you do so well? I mean, are you like, I don't know how to answer. I think you pretty much have answered this question just now. But any other comments on this?
Well, you got to be. You need to have a drive. Definitely. You need to have drive and passion. If like you really want something, you're gonna get a way to do it.
Yeah.
And stick to the plan. Like don't keep changing plans. You can change, but don't make too drastic changes to your plan. So think of what you really want and kind of stick to it. Otherwise, you keep hopping around and you're kind of nowhere.
Yeah, it's very, very common these days that a lot of people have different kind of passion. I think when I was a few years younger as well, I had so many things I wanted to do, but I told myself that I need to choose one. Okay, just stick on one, and then after that, grow on a particular, be good in one. Then after that, start moving to the others as well. I think that is something that is, I think, like you said, a drive, and also really know what you want. Really on, like yourself, you like you said, you were Form 4. You already knew that you want to do ICAEW. I think that's very, very young. At 16 years old, I still didn't know what I wanted to do, right? But it's good for you. Yeah, other questions that we can take. Is it very stressful? I don't know. I think that's a common thing. I don't know.
You definitely get stress, but you gotta learn how to manage the stress. And also depends. Well, you need to find something to take your stress off. Well, for me, it's going to the gym, doing sports, hanging out with friends. These things kind of take your stress off. But although you do things to take your stress off, like you still need to remember what path you're in and what you sign up for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's one thing also, because I work, so those who are listeners inside here, when I work with a lot of HR, recruiters as well, they did say that they would like to see how one be able to take the stress off. So they actually look in your resume, your hobbies, actually what you do. So because working life is very, it's challenging, right? In every work itself, there's a lot of stress levels or stress points. So how do you actually de-stress? It's very, very important to actually know and explain how to de-stress. Wishing, I know, if you guys follow his Instagram, okay, I'm just going to promote you a bit. If you guys follow his Instagram, he has a lot of, there's a lot of activities that he does outdoors. You go climbing and you do dodgeball and you go gym as well. For myself, you actually can see here, I have my disc up there. I play ultimate frisbee, so that's how I de-stress and get my brain relaxed in that way. So those for you who are facing stress right now, what is your de-stress? Activities, means your hobbies lah. And we enjoy just playing sports. What other questions do we have? What other questions that we have on the board? I think there's one there. Yeah, correct. That's the one. What's the advice for younger generation, especially those who are studying in secondary schools right now? Any advice for them, man?
Younger generations, those studying in secondary schools, I'll say like really enjoy your high school. Like don't keep studying too much. Learn and explore different things. Pick up different skills. Play sports. Play whatever you like. Music. Cooking, I don't know, just pick up as many things as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, whatever you study, it's just, academics is just gonna give you your starting point, and after that, that's where you take up yourself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
So really, just do whatever you want. Really just enjoy your time in school. I'll say that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just enjoy, and then I don't know. knowing not what you want to do, I think is still okay. It's not the best advice, but knowing that you just try everything, because you do not know what's your passion at the moment right now. Probably by the time you reach age of like 18 or 20, then probably you understand. You try more, all right? You try a lot of things before you can know what you are good at. I think there's one question by the Sandra as well. The one from Sandra. Why do you aspire to be a professional accountant? What do accountants do? Okay. So Sheng, you want to differentiate what's a chartered accountant, what you do? So you call yourself an ACA, a chartered accountant, and then there are accountants. All right. So you want to explain that?
Well, accountants very broad. Professional accountants basically go into service lines, I guess, where you give accounting, like professional accounting services, and accountants. I don't know if you would just say accountant or a bookkeeper. Well, if you're not in the professional line, yeah, you probably just do bookkeeping and data entry and stuff like that. But if you're professional, you actually go into really into the field itself, like audit, tax, advisory stuff, things like that. So not just a typical accountant, and into the commercial field. Well, yeah, I mean, it's very broad. So why be a professional accountant? Because you're not specialized like fully into one thing, and at the same time you're also delivering professional services, but you have many choices in that field.
Yeah, I understand. So I think the differentiation for, I think the word accountant in the ACA itself is very, very how to say, it's over generalized to say actually, yeah, you're just accountant means do the bookkeeping and accounting stuff, but it's not, right? Chartered accountants, like what Sheng said, is really more than that. If you can listen to other ICW members speaking, I think you know what's the difference about it. Sheng, one question that I have for you is that what do you think about the program right now? Do you think it's relevant for students? In right now, they're doing Form 5, their SPM, and then they want to move on. Do you think it's relevant for them?
You mean like the ICW syllabus?
Syllabus-wise, training-wise, everything, I guess.
From what I see, from to my other friends who are doing the degree, definitely ICW. I mean, if you're doing accounting degree and you're doing ICW, definitely ICW preps you more for the work life. Degree is a lot of fun and courseworks and mingling around. Where ICW really trains you up for the job itself. Yeah. So that's the big difference that I can say.
Yeah. So when you started doing ICW, right? Or maybe the traditional way of after SPM would be people would do degree, right? But you were not that one that wanted to do degree. So were you concerned about how they say that you will not get the university life or the experience? Because like, it's a professional qualification. You are just going to study. You're going to finish out the qualification itself and then done. Were you worried about that when you were deciding to do ICW?
Well, not really. If you know how to balance your time, you actually create your own university life.
Yeah.
Although you don't get summer breaks, but you still have a couple of days after your exams before the next semester starts, and that's when you make full use of it. Like just go out and go for a short break or holiday.
Yeah.
Because
Anything else you want to add? Yeah, go on. Just keep on going.
No, because if you really know your goals, then really you're gonna enjoy it. It's not really like a chore. You have a goal and you just keep working towards it.
Yeah, that's nice. So one question from Wilson. He was I think Wilson was talking to me last night as well. So I invited him here. So why do you go to RBC, and do you prefer auditing line? And also there's another question from Esther as well. Do you like audit, and what do you think about audit? So yeah, you want to go with that?
Why do I prefer auditing line or a commercial line? Really depends on what your ambition or what your goal is. I would say from my experience, audit is definitely the first platform to start. because you really learn a lot of things, managing wise and even technical wise. Yeah, so definitely audit first for me. I don't think I would advise anyone to go into commercial straight away. You kind of get limited, and the skills that you pick up from audit is definitely you can't buy it. You have to go through it, and it's not just 1-2 years. Like you need to go at least even the minimum now is like 3-4 years at least before you move out. And depends if you want to be a partner, probably earn seven figures a year. Then sure, you can stay in audit, but the workload is really a lot. The stress really a lot. Why I moved out is not because I don't like audit. I like audit. You really learn a lot. As like I said again, it's just that I have different passions. I need some time to do my sports as well. So that's why I moved out. Well, who knows that I might go back to audit again.
Yeah, I mean that's a very it's very interesting. I know of a lot of people that like yourself did audit, like you said, get all the experience and then move out other way. But that's really amazing. I'm sharing for you. I believe a lot of your fans are actually asking where to get jerseys and everything. I personally am a fan. I'm a fan of Wishing's dodgeball. So I have a jersey. I have Wishing's jersey as well from his Mexico tourney. But Wishing, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing with everyone. And yeah, those who feel inspired, just follow Wishing on his Instagram or whatever. But do keep the comments coming, and we'll have our next speaker coming out soon. Thanks, Wishing.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem.
See you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, so that was Wishing. That was an interesting one. I guess that is his passion. I mean, like, because he's driven in a way that he knows what he wants to do at a very young age. It's something you guys also have to think about what you want to do. I think deciding early on, it's a very important at the moment right now. For myself, I did not know what I want to do. I went straight to degree, then after that I did my master's, and then right now I'm in ICAEW as well. So that's Wishing's story. One of it, he said that knowing how to spend his time wisely. And our next speaker coming up would be Wei Lun. So yeah, Wei Lun, he also is an outgoing person. I believe right now he's going off to actually study. For work, right? But I will let him introduce himself. Can we have Wei Lun into the chat right now?
Hi, Andrew.
Oh, hi, Wei Lun.
Hi, Andrew.
Nice one. So yeah, I just you texted me just now that you were still in the meeting. I don't know what meeting was that. Can you what meeting was it?
Because I'm actually having a lot of free time right now, so I'm engaged with this organization, this charity organization for a long-term basis. So I was having a meeting with them on promoting vegetarianism for environmental protection.
Okay,
yeah,
wow.
That was a meeting. Yeah.
Nice. What organization is this? I don't know.
It's called Tzu Foundation, and we do charity and we also advocate a lot of other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's nice. The Suchi one, right? Yeah. I believe I've heard of it before. So yeah, but at the same time, you would be going off to actually doing your work already, right? If there's no virus situation, yeah.
Yeah. I actually got offered by EY Singapore. So I'm going there in late September. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So you'll be doing your advanced there as well?
Yes, yeah. I'll start my advanced level probably next year. Yeah.
That's nice. So those who are listening, if you are an SPM student, you have opportunity to actually work in Singapore. Yeah. So see, Wei Lun is one of them. So Wei Lun, when you start your CFAP, so right now you're going to your advanced level, but I want people to understand what was your thought process actually picking up ICAEW after SPM.
Okay, so I was a pure science plus account student when I was Form 4, and then I found out that my bio wasn't that good, because I can't remember stuff. So I dropped my bio and became a sub-science student. And I felt like accounting was, at first it wasn't very interesting because it's kind of boring. You just follow the principles and you just do the accounts, following the steps, and produce the statements. But after that, we were invited to me and my classmates were invited to Sunway to listen to a talk, and they introduced us ACCA and ICW, which are the professional accounting courses. And I realized that accounting is not just debit and credit and making doing all the statements and cash flows. It's actually the building blocks of the business work. And after the talk, I had a second thought on accountancy. And when I was from 5, I really didn't know what I want to do next, as in after SPM. So I thought moving into the business and finance pathway would be a good choice in the future, given now everything is about business, finance, economy. And I did my research. I compared ACCA and ICW. I'm not trying to say ICW is better than ACCA, but I think ICW's models suits me more, where we have this training contracting, where we go into the work field and we gain some experience before we're coming back to the last level, which is the advanced level that I'll be doing soon. So I feel like this process would, give me a greater insights of the business world before I do my theoretical exam and case study.
Yeah, that's nice. The topic that I chose for this particular session is being adventurous and being adventurous. I don't know. It's just coming from our conversations on what you do and everything. And it's quite nice that you say that the ICW program, the qualification, it suits you because you wanted to know about the business. So for those listeners out there, I think that's what Wayden is trying to say. If it suits you, right? But my question right now, is that, because right now you're going up for work, how old? I believe right now you're about 20, 21? Right?
Yeah, I'm 21. Yeah.
And it's amazing that you'll be actually heading out to Singapore soon to work. What's in your mind right now, and how are you going to adjust? Because you are sort of, people perceive that young age, you are young. Can you just tell me about your experience? You told me before about your Maybank experience as well. Can you just share with other people?
Okay. So what I told Andrew about my experience in Maybank was my work-based learning. We call it WBL, which is also an internship program we have for CFAP students. So after we completed all our CFAP papers, then we'll be out to one of the authorized training employers, and we have our 3 months internship with them. So I had mine with Maybank Group, Maybank Berhad, and I was in the corporate finance team under the group treasury department. So I was actually only 18 at the time. Actually, all of us were 18, me and my batchmates. And I think to them, because most of them, they work in audit firms, and I think the staff there, they're already quite used to having 18 years old or 17 years old kids running around the office. But for where I've been, Maybank, I think I was the first CFAP intern over there. So everyone was quite shocked when there's an 18-year-old kid appear in the office, and they I don't know, is it my look or something else? They didn't believe that I was 18 at first. So they were really shocked. And I explained to them how the program works and why we are out here when we are 18. We're supposed to be in college, enjoying uni life. But they told me was they hoped that they had the chance to step into the career world and the actual corporate world when they were 18, not like when they're 23, 24, 25 years old, and realized that this is not really what I want to do at that age, but it's a bit too late. So most of them just stick to what they started
Yeah.
with. So
Yeah.
they really say that we are very lucky that we have the opportunity to to gain all the insights and have all the tryouts without being afraid that we'll have failures or anything, or doing something wrong or going to the wrong direction. Because we were just 18.
Amazing, man. I think I also can speak for those your seniors during the time that if I was 23 or 24, I would say like, wow, I wish I actually start at a very young age itself. That's really amazing. But do you feel any disadvantage being so young in the area?
I wouldn't say disadvantage, but knowledge-wise, I think we're kind of short of those professional and knowledge when it comes to doing all the work, and we really require a lot of guidance compared to our colleagues. So sometimes you feel like you're a bit of the burden for the team, because they need to explain to you every single thing, because you really have no idea about it. Because the syllabus of CFAP, it does cover a lot of areas, but it's not really in depth. And I was in the finance team, so a lot of things they were very new to me, because they're not exposed in the syllabus yet. So I did feel like I was a bit of a burden for the team, because they need to keep guiding me all the time and telling me what to do.
Yeah, but with those experience, right, with that experience itself, once you did your professional level, then did you see the relevance actually on the professional papers that actually that was what you were doing when you were doing your 3 months of internship?
Yes. When I started my professional level, I was like, hey, I've seen this before during my WBL, during my intern, and everything just comes back and kind of links all the pictures together and helps you to understand the syllabus and the all the things better.
That's nice. So you can see the integration of ICAEW's syllabus, that you learn it at at a different pace, and it's very work related. It's not very theoretical, I would say. Will you agree on that?
Yes, agree.
So let's take some questions. I don't see actually much questions actually coming in. So I'll just continue chatting with you right now. What do you think about the ICAEW program at the moment? So you're going off to work. When you first started, you knew that this is what you want to do because it suits you. Do you think right now the ICAEW training or the ACA training itself it will be relevant for you because you are going into the workforce in this pandemic crisis to build up the economy again? So would you think that this is going to be a useful qualification?
Yes, I would say this qualification is going to be useful at times like this. And just now, Sheng shared that once he got his ACA title and he got a lot of emails and inquiries and asking him to send in his resume, and actually that kind of happened to me when I was still doing my professional level, because I do update my LinkedIn's and I say I'm an ACA professional level ACA student, and actually my offer from EY Singapore started from there. And they actually contacted me last year through LinkedIn, because that HR guy saw my profile and things like that, and he actually invited me to join an interview. But at the time, it wasn't the best time for me to go over to start working, because I still have competitions and I haven't finished my professional level yet. So I declined the offer, and luckily they got back to me again this year.
That's good. That's really
so
good.
I would say this qualification is very useful and it's very popular in the industry.
Yeah, that's really, really amazing. I believe as well. I think when you say that you update your LinkedIn a lot, the competitions that you participate, I believe that you were the Deloitte regional champion or something like that.
Yes. So Deloitte organized Risk Intelligence Challenge for uni students every year. So my teammates and I, we were lucky and grateful that we emerged as champion in the Malaysia stage, and then we represented Malaysia to to compete with teams from other ASEAN countries in Vietnam, and we also emerged as champion among this, I think 9 teams, 9 countries.
Yeah, and I believe all of them were SPM school leavers, your teammates.
Two of us, we were SPM school leavers, and the other 2 girls, they did diploma. Yeah, they did diploma in accounting.
Yeah. Were they also are they also ICW or
yes,
all of
they
them?
are ICW students.
Oh, that's nice. That's amazing. So I think my question, the lead up question to that was that how do you find time? I mean, if ICW is such a challenging paper already, besides the Deloitte one, I believe that you participate also in the Malaysia Business Challenge, ICW Malaysia Business Challenge. That's where I think this was my second time meeting you. I think the first time I met you was, I don't know, one of the orientation events that you were hosting or something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, so how do you find time participating challenge at the same time as well, focusing on studies on ICW, where people think that it's a very challenging qualification?
Okay, so this is my take. But okay, so in ICW, we have to pass our papers. So the passing, there's a passing mark. So some people, they would, some students, they will want to get very high marks and really nice academic transcript and things like that. And some they would aim for world prize. They would aim for 100 marks and things like that. But I think I belong to the group that I just want to pass. But not in a bad way. Like, I don't care about my results. I do care about my results as well. Because it affects my resume. But I do really aim for pass for some subjects that I'm not really good at, so that I don't spend too much time on study, and I can have a lot of time to do my competitions, to join clubs and societies, to hang around with people.
That's nice. I probably would be that kind of student as well. I would just like I don't have to get the 100. I would probably just get the A or B plus. I think that's good enough for me, man. Get a CGPA, because I did degree. There are CGPA of 3.3 and 3.5. That's it. I don't need to go for the 3.8s. I think you are the similar kind as well.
Yeah. I think for ICW, there's another thing is for the core papers, we don't have assignments, so it's 100% exam based. So it really depends on how you do in exams. So maybe a lot of degree students, they didn't have much time because they have a lot of assignments to do, and they have to take care of their exams as well. So that might take a lot of time.
That's a very interesting. That's a very interesting point of view. I've not considered that. So those who actually want to just focus on exams, no assignments, right? Just exams only. That's how ICW works at the CFET level and also the professional level. But once you go advanced, your assignments will be your work assignments, which we will be actually doing it in EY Singapore soon. But Waylon, thanks for your sharing. Thanks for coming in, and all the best in your charity work that you're doing with Tutsi, and also in EY Singapore in the future. All right. Thanks, Waylon.
Thank you, Andrew. Bye.
No problem. Bye. So that's Waylon's experience. So he was it's just his experience. He really knows what he wants to do in life, and that's how he moved on. And opportunities come. All right. It's not only one person who said it, but another, Waylon himself also said it, that the job offers come in this area. The next 3 to 4 years down the road, probably the economy is going to be stabilizing again, and you want to have a job, right? So employability is something to look forward for. Right. Before I get Kumar in, there's one question here. What is the basic difference between ACCA and ICW? It's a question I get all the time, not only from parents or lecturers as well, and also at the same time, students also ask the same thing. The basic difference would be ICW is a chartered qualification. It is we have the royal charter from the Queen of England itself, right? In 1880, in 1880, that's where they decided that England and Wales would need a professional qualification for accounting, all right, or at least the accounting profession. And chartered accountancy, the qualification itself belongs to the country, right? So in England and Wales would be ICAEW, right? In Australia would be Chartered Accountants Australia, New Zealand. In Hong Kong with the Hong Kong ICPA. In Zambia would be the Chartered Accountants Zambia. In South Africa, the Chartered Accountants as well. US, they have their own qualification, but because there are 50 states altogether, there's a lot of bodies involved. But in Singapore is ISCA. So the bodies that I mentioned just now, they are part of the Global Accounting Alliance, and some of them are also part of the Chartered Accountants Worldwide. So that is the main difference, that ICAEW comes from the England and Wales, but in about 10 years ago, or at least 15 years ago, they decided to open up the qualification to outside of England and Wales. That's where ICAEW landed in Southeast Asia, and right now we have our offices in Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, and also Indonesia itself. So I guess that is the difference. The other qualifications, like the popular ones like ACCA and CPA Australia, they are certificates. They are certificate papers developed by organizations, right? Yes, ACCA is also have the origin in from the UK. CPA comes from the popular one. CPA Australia comes from Australia itself, but the main accounting body would be ICAEW and also Chartered Accountants Australia, New Zealand. In Malaysia, the Malaysian qualification will be MICPA. So that's the difference to it. I hope that answers the question. And yeah, you can check out my my session yesterday as well about I didn't really compare about ACC and ICAEW, but it's more on who our ICAEW members are in Malaysia and what they do in the different sectors, in oil and gas, in commercial lines like Sime Darby and whatnot. Right. Right now, I'll get Kumar in. I'll get Kumar in to share his experience. Faridah, I'll come to your questions later on at the end. But let's have Kumar in. I will let him introduce himself. I believe that he is still within ICAEW. He's still doing his professional qualification. But yeah, let's have Kumar on the line.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Kumar. Yeah. Nice to see that you have a guitar behind as well. And I have,
yeah. So basically, my name is Kumar. I'm currently doing my professional stage in ICAEW.
Yeah.
And on the side, I actually play Ultimate just like Andrew.
Yeah.
And I play quite a lot of music actually. Music has been one of my passions really. And I've been playing it ever since I think I was age of 7 really. And quite recently actually, I've been performing in a club called the KL Jazz and Arts Center. It's near Mid Valley, but right now due to the whole pandemic, obviously things have slowed down and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's mainly it.
Okay. Sorry, just a side thing about your performing. So do you have online streams or like I don't know, a lot of music people right now, the musicians are actually going online to actually just put their music online and whatnot. I don't know whether you have jazz music on Spotify or whatnot. I don't know. Do you have any?
Actually, as of right now, no. But during the whole pandemic, I've actually been thinking about it and stuff. So hopefully soon I will start something. It's still in the works in progress. But I actually play with a band, and I don't as much play jazz per se. I play more of classic rock and blues, like 60s, 70s.
Wow.
And then a bit of current gen stuff, and I have my own compositions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I actually perform in my band. I actually met them somehow or other. I actually met them, and we performed ever since last year in about I think June, like that. Actually, when I was doing my WBL, that was when like I was it was like morning to evening. I was working in Morrison. Yeah. And evening I was going for practices, and then the weekends I'll be performing and stuff like that.
Wow. So I mean, like seriously, like so we had Sheng way earlier as well, and then you you perform like sort of professionally, I would guess, because you're playing in a band and you have gigs. Like, how do you balance your time?
I would say it's more of learning how to prioritize and what comes when, like, especially for my WBL, because I had no studying to do. So it was just morning work. Then I'll, hit the gym for about an hour or so and then go for my practice late at night. The one thing I had to sacrifice a lot then was my sleep. I was getting like about 3-4 hours of sleep a day. And it was only like, say, my Friday nights where I would actually get some proper sleep and just sleep through Saturday morning. But then Saturday nights and Sunday nights I'll be performing, you see. So it was a constant thing. And once I finished my WBL and started studying again, I would say is that I had to cut out a lot of social activities with my friends. I had to cut down on that. But it was still possible to, make time because, sometimes friends, you still have to make time for them and things like that. And not to mention family and things. So I would say is that I had to prioritize my list. So I had like 5 priorities: my studies, family, gym, music, and ultimate. So I had to split my time between these 5, and especially like say about 2-3 weeks before an exam, that's when I would cut everything out except for my gym and my family. The rest have to be on hold because I'll be going full on studying and quite hardcore, I would say.
That's very, I think that's a very, very good advice for those listeners out there. If you are if you know how to prioritize at a young age, this discipline will stick with you until you grow older, man. Okay, let's turn back time. I'm not sure. So you started your ICAEW CFAP or ACA. What qualification you had before this? SPM, directly after SPM?
I did my SPM first, and then I did A levels.
Okay.
After my A levels, I decided to join CFAP.
Okay.
See, because when I was doing my A levels, I was still deciding between either accountancy, ICAEW, or engineering. But once I was towards the end of my A levels, I already realized that I had a passion for accounting more and business rather than engineering. So, which is why when I finished my A levels, I came to and did CFAP in March 2018 was when I started.
Yeah, correct. So right now you're going professional, but your brother is also ICAEW, right?
Yes. He's also he's currently doing his advanced papers right now.
Okay.
He's sitting for his case study in SBM in August, actually next month. Yeah.
Correct.
He's currently attending online classes for that.
Okay, that's amazing. So are you attending online classes with Sunway as well? Because right now with this whole pandemic issue, you're having classes online.
Yeah. Just I think about a few days back we had catch-up classes, and we'll be having catch-up classes soon. Also for like I had tax classes on Tuesday and Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So we still have online classes, and it's quite interesting how Sunway has managed to overcome the whole learning face-to-face and come with online lessons and online classes, and how the whole universities and stuff, it's quite good that they managed to quickly implement it.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, some of your lecturers actually are on this as well. I see Jack, Ruslina, and I think Mr. Janda is in as well. Yeah. So hi guys. So one thing that I want to know. So you did after A levels, and you know that you didn't want to do engineering. But what made you decide to do ICAEW? You like you said you're interested in business and everything. You could have just went for a business degree, but why ICAEW?
I did ICAEW. First, my brother was in it, and he said it was a good course. And the other thing was I was more interested in accountancy and then business. So when I saw accountancy, my dad also had recommended, why don't you do a professional course? You see, because he also has done professional courses before. And what he said was, ICAEW is a good thing. And when I heard about ICAEW, I realized that why is that only Sunway is offering it? This must be quite special, you see, because ACCA, I heard it everywhere. You see, I kept hearing ACCA quite a bit, but ICAEW, I would say that I rarely heard it. I only heard it through my brother and dad. So then I started researching about it and stuff, and I looked into it and I realized that ICAEW provides a more holistic approach and holistic view on business, finance, and stuff. So that's why I realized, maybe I should try this. And I was like, sure, let's go.
Yeah, man. And so what is your So that was your thinking, and you did your research. And so right now, what do you think of the program right now?
I say it's great, but very demanding.
Okay.
Like there's times where it gets pretty stressful in the sense that you know how you need to really understand the subject material. And it's not like your usual, like last time, you know, you used to sit for exam, you can just memorize the book, memorize the facts, and just, you know, blurt it out straight away. This requires you to really think and apply the knowledge you learn. On top of that, you have to be aware of real life things that are happening that can be implemented inside your exam, you see. And especially from a professional stage right now, the level between your certificate and the professional is just, it's got quite a big jump. And it took us quite some getting used to actually when we, after WBL we started our professional level. It's quite funny, and we had to step up our game by a huge bit in order to really adapt to the level that professional required us.
Nice. And I believe that is a credit to your lecturers as well.
Yes.
Push you up that level, right?
Yes. I'm gonna, you know, give a good shout out to, you know, Miss Ruzina, Miss Eunice, Mr. Ong, Mr. Jana, Mr. Jack, Mr. Simon, Miss Jacqueline,
all of them.
All of the lecturers, Miss Lai Ching, you know, Miss Catherine, all of them, they actually like helped here and there. They kept, you know, pushing us and giving us tips, you know, and sometimes if they couldn't give us the help, you know, they would ask seniors to come and talk to us to give us some insight, you see. So I would say that they're really great lecturers, and they really care about the students, and they just want the students to do better.
Okay, let's create some strife here and some competition. All right, who's your favorite lecturer?
Okay. I would say oh man, this is quite hard. But I would say the one lecturer that is always never failed to put a smile on my face would be Mr. Jana.
Okay, Mr. Jana. Yes.
Every time I would meet him, like, you know, his jokes and the way he talks to you, it just, you would not leave with a frowny face. Like, if you had a bad day and you just walk by Mr. Jana, he will make sure you leave with a smile. You see, it's really, I guess I gotta say, Mr. Jana is like, and he was one of my first lecturers in CFAB. See, when
accounting, right?
Accounting. Yeah. So it was actually quite fun, and sometimes you meet him around in cafeteria and stuff. He still have his jokes and it's, you know, it's really fun. Nice to have him around still. You see, so yeah.
So that's quite funny. I have a story about Mr. Jana as well. I think it was last year, the annual dinner. I think it was the annual dinner or I think it was the Celebrating Excellence. And he called, so I got a number. I have no idea who was this. And then after that, it was this British guy actually on the call. And I'm thinking, like, who is this? It's like, and then he mentioned his name in a very British accent. I'm Jenna. I'm like, who is Jenna? I was like, then after that, he went into his Malaysia accent. It was Mr. Jana. I was like, okay, wow, that's. And then, like I said, he made my day. Seriously, I can still remember that story. Like, I think because that was the president was around in Malaysia as well. So Fiona was in. Then we had the celebrity. I'm like thinking, like, what is happening? Who is this? Finally got one special guest coming. Right? I don't know. But yeah, Mr. Jana, brilliant man. So yeah, it's nice to actually hear. But so right now, you did your WBL in Morrison, you mentioned, right? So my question to you is that most of the so you decided to go to a mid-tier firm because you mentioned that you wanted to learn more in that short period of 3 months, right? So what can you share about that, and why? So first question is, why did you not choose to go for a bigger one, which is like usually people go for EY, PwC, or KPMG, the big fours and everything. And also, that's the first, and then after I'll follow up with the next question.
Sure. Okay, so the reason why I chose Morrison was because I felt that it's 3 months, right? It's a very short time, and just like, okay, so I'm just gonna give an example here. So imagine if you're living in a very big mansion, right? And you have 1 day or like say 1 month to figure out where the rooms and what is in the house, right? It'll be quite hard for you to actually know what's going on. Compared to if you went to just a normal house, a small, say, apartment, in 1 month, you'll know a lot more than in the mansion. So quite similar to when I was working at Morrison, the reason I went there is because it's a smaller company, there'll be lesser staff.
Yeah.
Because there's lesser staff, each individual has to take on more responsibility. Hence why my seniors would have to give me more work instead of delegating to the much more juniors available in like other big firms, you see. So yes, there are clients, the clients we take on also are much smaller in relative to the big four, you see.
Yeah.
But I get to learn more about the reports, the audit reports, how to, conduct an audit.
Yeah.
I was actually quite great, lucky to be able to perform 2 audits by myself. Although it was a dormant company, but my senior told me that she said, I need you to do these 2 companies. They're dormant, so I need you to finish it like within the week. It's very small things to go through, but I had to go from A to Z, looking at all their work, the working papers and everything. So it gave me a lot to learn about what's going on. And then after I was done with that, she had given me a part of her work, which was, reconciling certain parts of the document, the working papers, which enabled me to really see more in depth on how the companies actually work and things like that.
Okay.
So that's why I was actually quite grateful. And it was also my seniors who had mentioned to me before that a number of them who had gone to big firms, they had really enjoyed their time. Yes. But I've also heard from my friends, seniors who went to medium-sized firms, they actually managed to learn quite a bit. But ultimately, it has to depend on your luck. Because I have one of my seniors, he went to PwC, right? And he managed to go through like few different companies in that 3 months, you see?
Yeah.
So he was really lucky to, be able to get to know different things about different industries and stuff. So that's why when I decided, I was like, you know what? It's a short time. It's not going to be like my training contract, which is long. It's a short time. I just want to go in, learn as much as I can, and come out of it. So yeah,
that's very nice. That's a very like Mr. Jack says, a very wise move to actually go to a smaller firm instead of just going to large one. Yes, like you said, bigger clients, but the immense work that you do gets you to get from A to Z. I think that's a very, very good call and a good advice for those out there who is listening, that learn as much as you want. Like I think the previous 2 speakers also said that what kind of advice they can give is that learn up as much as you can at a young age, because by the time that you grow older, that is your attention span is going to be lesser as well.
True.
So the follow-up question that I have for you would be, what kind of skill besides doing the audit work, learning the A to Z, but what kind of skill that you have to demonstrate or develop while you're actually picking up those 2 audit jobs? Can you share on that?
I would say one of the skills I actually learned while working in Morrison is that I had learned how to be able to communicate with colleagues and how to be able to communicate with clients by myself. See, so my senior had just given me, like, she said, okay, this is the person in charge which you're going to be dealing with. Any documents that you require, you ask straight away.
Yeah.
So although before WBL I had experience working and stuff, that was more of it's not really as formal as this, I would say, and I've been working in that different company for a number of years. So this one was 3 months, and in that short period, you have to understand that not everyone is your friend instantly. So you have to be professional first before you break into that friendship barrier, you see. So like my seniors, obviously, the first 3 weeks or month, you see, I had to make sure whatever I said was very careful, because you're working in a professional firm, you're working professionally, and it's a professional setting. You do not want to simply say things that you're gonna wish you had taken back, you see. And not to mention, it was quite a challenge for me because as many of my friends know, I'm quite sociable, and I like to joke around and stuff. So I had to like completely shut off that side of me for quite some time before actually getting to know them and starting to talk to them as friends and things like that. So I would say the one key thing that I learned was communicating, and it was really, really good. The other thing I would say is that I learned that it is all right to make mistakes when you're working, and it is all right to get scolding from your seniors. It is all good, and I would say it's quite essential actually to be able to. You have to get some scoldings from your seniors, because if you do not make a mistake, you're not going to learn.
Yeah.
And if you don't learn anything, you wouldn't know where to go on in future, you see. So yes, there were times where, I got scolding from my seniors and things like that. And what made me learn that if you don't know something, make sure to ask and really understand, because more often than not, your seniors are there to help you.
Yeah.
And I was lucky to have, nice seniors that they were always willing to help. And they'll always, say, if you don't know, just ask. We're not here doing nothing, sitting here and expect you to know everything. Be also in your position once, you see. So that's what I would say that I learned from Morrison.
That's amazing, man. So yeah, make mistakes early, learn fast. I think that's the one. I think goes to actually, I think when playing guitar, right? When we first started playing guitar as well, we make so many mistakes. Our fingers get painful, but after a while, it's like it comes naturally as well.
Yes.
Our topic that I selected here was creativity. Is one of the traits of a chartered accountant. Do you think that you are creative? And how does like for musicians, I think creativity comes quite almost naturally. Yes, there are a set of score sheets that you have to follow, but creativity, it's being applied as well. And how do you apply that being a chartered accountant?
I would say, for my music, right, because it's something that has been there for me ever since I was a young age. This is something that my father taught me. He taught me at a young age how to read music. And once he laid that foundation for me, after that, I had learned everything myself. See, I'd taken books and I just go through score sheets and stuff like that.
And YouTube, right?
Yes, YouTube is another platform which came quite recently that I actually started learning more. But I would say the one thing that about me is that after I got a bit tired of looking at books and reading, right, it helped me gain another skill where I just started listening and playing.
Yeah.
I just gave up on like looking at books, reading and stuff. I was like, you know what? There's no time for me for this. I just want to listen and pick up.
Yeah.
So I would say the things that I've learned in music, right? They give you like a set thing that you have to do. There's basics that you have to pick up, right?
Yeah.
After that, what you do is based on what you feel. You see? What is basically between you and your instrument and what you feel you play.
Yeah.
You use the same things that you learn based on a guideline, but based on that guideline, you explore and use your own creativity to do more things, you see?
Yeah.
So in accounting, I would say the creative side I would have to use was the how I had to study.
Okay.
Because there's like so many people telling me, oh, you have to study like this, you study like that, you study like this. So I had to be creative and think of the best method that's going to work for me. See?
Yes.
And I had to use a bit of advice from person A, a bit of advice from person B, from C, and then I grouped it all together and made my own method of studying. See?
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's what creativity is all about. You see, creativity and innovation. You take something that people have done, a few people, you take a bit of what they have done and you make something of your own. See, which is what a lot of people these days do. See, when it comes to laptops, gaming, you see, they always take something from a previous person. Even in music, there's a lot of things when I listen to, the amount of artists and music songs I listen to, there's always that sometimes I hear like, this sounds familiar. I heard it in a different song, you see.
Yeah.
And it's quite similar in what I would say that I had to do for my accounting program, that I had to use different methods in order to study and make my own method that enabled me to do my exams.
That's nice. I believe also in the future as well, you'll be taking those guidelines or principles from the ACA and then going to apply into work as well, correct? Not so you take a clip and everything, and then whoever your client is, that's where you'll be applying those knowledge into that. I believe that's a very sound advice that you have given. I think let's take some questions here.
Sure.
Yeah. I think there's one question from Marie. I think Marie has two questions. The first one was, I think it's the earlier one. Was it hard to focus on your studies when you had other activities and lack of sleep?
I would say there were a lot of times that when I was studying during the day, I would just crash on my desk. And most of the time I had spent was actually studying in college. The most challenging thing I would say was just, say like 3 something or 4 something, I'll be studying, and then I'll just fall on the desk and I'll just sleep. But I always had to make sure that I tell a friend, can you just wake me up in an hour or so, so I can wake up. Because sometimes I would just completely just crash.
Yeah.
And it's those points where I realized that, I also need to have some sleep. But for me, sleep is not something that I've been getting for, I would say, the past number of years, actually, because I stay in Nilai. It's quite far away from campus. And I travel every day, for class. And I would say I have to get up like as early as 4:30, 5 o'clock to leave the house and come to college. And then also I have to go back. I go back quite late because I prefer studying in college. So I'll go home around 12 and I reach home at 1. So I get very little amount of sleep, and it was hard to focus at times. It was really hard. But I'd say is that over the years, I just got myself acclimatized to it. My body had just somehow adapted. And I realized that if I really need to crash and like just sleep, I just have to take a 1 hour break and just sleep and then get back. And I would say coffee has been like my best friend. The amount of coffee I take is just insane. And I've actually gotten to grow a liking for coffee. And, I take my coffees nowadays like pure black, no sugar, no milk. And it just keeps me going all the time.
Yeah. That's quite funny. But yeah, what's your biggest struggle during WBL and taking ICAEW? I think to answer this question, I think I'll answer this, but maybe also Kumar, you can actually confirm this, that during the WBL actually is full-time work. There's no time that you will have to actually take up exams during that time, and yeah, I guess that's the answer to your question, Marie, that Sunway students do not have to take any exams within that 3 months. I think the biggest struggle would be meeting new clients. Kumar?
True. That's quite. But for me, my struggle was working two jobs at once and also having other commitments. That would be my biggest struggle for when I was doing the WBL. Like the first month or so, it was quite manageable because I didn't have any performances lined up. But once the second month started to kick in, that's where my performances started to pick up. I was performing at least every week or every 2 weeks once, and practice was done almost every weekday, you see. And not to mention that sometimes we would invite artists over, like from Singapore. We have this guy, Chris. He would come from Singapore. He's somewhat of like an idol of mine when it comes to music. And, we play and we perform. So it was quite hard, mainly because of my lack of sleep. And even when I go to the office the next morning, right, my colleagues would be like, wow, you look really dead. And then they would see the amount of coffee I drink. See, and they would also be surprised, and they would be quite shocked with the amount of coffee that I actually take and things like that. But they also knew after a while, I actually told them that, I've been performing and things like that. And they were like, it's quite interesting that, you're performing and things like that. So I would say that was my biggest struggle, balancing my sleep time and things like that. But it was manageable after a while. I had been able to, prioritize, and it was after a while, my body just adapted to it. And that's when I'll just, make sure that I'll last through the week. And then Saturdays, I'll just crash and, just get in some good rest and then go back for the week again. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I think that's your answer to Netaji's question. That is, how do you tackle extreme accounting challenges? Or actually, that's not the one. Which is the one? Sorry, is to answer Wei En's question. That can you share your tips on studying and keeping yourself focused? I think that was the one. It's not about drinking coffee, but actually it's to prioritize your time properly. I think
Yes.
I think prioritizing is a very important skill with so many things off your phones, off your Instagram, off Twitter and everything, and then after that focus on studies. I think that's the message
True.
that you try to as well.
I would say just to add on a bit,
Yeah.
I would always ask myself this question: is that what do I want in life? See, I have a number of goals that I want, but then when those times where I feel like I'm lacking in focus, I'll ask myself, what do I really, really want? Do I want to slack, or do I want to achieve my goals?
Wow.
Because I realize that at any point of time, I need to be making sure to put in the effort, because anytime I'm slacking, it pushes my goal further back.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
So that's why I always ask myself, what is it do I want, and what do I really, really want in life?
That's nice.
So that's where I would say that it always ensures that I keep myself back on track. And of course, I have motivational wallpapers on my laptop telling me, I've got to get what I want to, in life. So yeah, I would say that's to share tips on studying. I would say studying, you have to find your own method.
Yes.
There's no
Agreed.
one set method that works for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone uses a different method, but keeping yourself focused, I would say, is that like what Sheng said earlier, is that you have to find out what you really want in life.
Yeah.
You have to find your why, as in what's your purpose and what you want to achieve. And every time you find yourself slacking, you keep reminding yourself that, hey, that's what I want to achieve. I got to start working. If not, it's not going to happen. So
yeah, man. That's amazing. All right, Kumar, you can be a motivational speaker. If you don't have any how to say music sessions going on, I think a motivational speaker would be a good one for you as well. But Kumar, really thanks. Really thank you for your time. There's a lot of nuggets, golden nuggets, inside there for those who are listening, and those who are watching in tonight. If you have enjoyed the sessions between Sheng, Wei Lun, and Kumar, come for next week. All right. We have a lot of speakers lined up for you as well. All of them are fun people actually to talk with, to chat with. And it's a nice talking to you, Kumar. Thanks for your time.
Andrew. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Kumar. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So that was 3. We're an hour 20 minutes. Those who actually stayed, who came on at 9 o'clock. I'm glad that you actually, if you're still on since the beginning, that's amazing, and you have heard so many how do I say, wise words from people who are such a young age. And these 3 are way younger than me, right? And they already know what they want to do in life. Yeah. So just come next week as well. There are more conversations that I'll be having with ICAEW students. Most of them will be going off for work, and most of them are also still in the professional stage as well. That it. I will answer some of the questions. Yeah, I think I've only one that I think from Faridah on the question there on the ACCA and ICAEW. If I was an employer, I would just give this analogy on the prestige of having an ICAEW chartered account professional qualification. All right, there's a lot of protons and peraduas on the road. All right. But if you actually look at how many Lamborghinis or how many Ferraris are there, it's very, very premium, right? The rarity or the supply of ICAEW chartered accountants is very high in demand because there are very few, right? It gives students, or it gives new members, ICAEW members, an opportunity to actually get work quite easily, and it's, in a way, it's such, and it's a testimony. It's quite hard for me to actually put it out a stats or anything, but by my conversation with ICAEW members, and also what Wei Lun and Sheng said just now, you're hearing it from their mouth, is that job offers come to them, right? Job offers come to them once they're qualified, even before they're done with their professional stage. Wei Lun has already got the offer from EY Singapore. I think it's a good testimony to hear from them. I've also known of many ICAEW students from Sunway actually, that even before they finish the advance, I think there's one student. She finished her I think she finished her advanced paper, but then after that got offers from the UK itself. So it's an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity that it's something you have to give yourself a fighting chance in order to get that opportunity as well. Work hard and stay on your goals, stay focused on everything. But that's all I have from my side. If anything that you want to actually contact me, my email is Andrew, ANDREW .YEW at ICW.com. I believe the Sunway team will actually share my email address if any one of you want to contact me about ICW and everything. But join me next week, next Thursday and Friday. We have more speakers lined up for you. And that's all from myself. And